In this video, we're going to talk about how to set up an Xbox emulation USB drive using Mac OS. So this is a question I am asked a lot, and it is how to set up a proper USB drive using Mac OS. Since Mac OS cannot use the security permissions that are found on Windows, setting up a proper drive is a bit more of a hurdle. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to use a VM to do it. And one of the easiest ones is Parallels, so that's what I'm going to be demoing here in this video. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here I am in Mac OS on a 2023 Mac Mini, just base M2 unit. As we begin, again, we are going to be using Parallels Desktop 18 for Mac to do this process. This is a $100 program, but there is a 14-day free trial, which is what I'm going to be utilizing here to do this tutorial. So you can head to the Parallels product page here. Link will be in the description below as always. But just click on the Try Now button, and then click on the Download Free Trial. And with that downloaded, just head over to your Downloads tab here and open up the damage image, and click on Install Parallels Desktop. And when you get the warning that it's an app downloaded from the internet, just go ahead and click on Open, and then give it all the proper permissions that it needs, accept the license agreements, and then just let it do its thing. And then go ahead and enter your administrative password if asked to further continue the installation. And then to continue with the installation, you just need to give it more permissions here, so just allow it to do so. And then you'll be prompted to download and install Windows 11. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and do that. Install Windows. So now just bear with it while it downloads all the necessary setup files. And after the download finishes, you'll be taken through just typical Windows 11 setup process, so just bear with it while it does its thing once again. And finally, after the installation completes, you can give Parallels access to your external drive. So just click on OK. And then finally, you just need to sign into a Parallels account to finish up the install process. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And after you get signed into the account, just continue on reading through their important information stuff, accept their agreements. And then when prompted to enter a key or buy it, just click on Continue Trial. And you are now brought to your Windows 11 OS. So from here, just accept the agreements in the Windows install. And there we go. Now we have Windows 11 up and running in Mac OS. So cool stuff. So now in our Windows 11 environment, we're going to download SMWiz's Xbox Media USB tool. So link will be in the description below. But we need to grab the ARM version because the Windows 11 install we have is Windows 11 on ARM. So you could try the normal one, but I believe ARM is what you want to use here. And then you can open up the folder here. And then just click on Extract All. And there we go. Now it is extracted. We can open it up. And inside you'll find Xbox Media USB. And that is now ready to go. So now we just need to get our USB drive of any variety connected to our Windows 11 virtual machine. So I am once again using my Crucial X6 1TB external SSD. So if you're using a thumb drive, hard drive, or SSD, process should be the same. But you'll see up here in the upper right hand corner a little USB tool. So click on that. And then you need to select your USB drive. So mine is the Crucial X6 SSD as previously stated. And then it's going to ask for permission to allow access to the device, so click on Allow. And there we go. Now I have native access to my Crucial X6 SSD on Windows 11. And again, this drive was already ready to go. It already has everything set up and good to go. Security tabs already good. Like, this drive is 100% good to go and what I've been using, but I'm just going to go ahead and reformat it here for demonstration purposes. So once your drive is connected and you have access to it, just open up Xbox Media USB. And if you're making a new Xbox Media drive, go ahead and select your USB drive from the drop-down box here. So double check your drive letters if needed, so you can open up your Windows File Explorer. Head into this PC and you can see what drive letter was assigned to your external drive here. Make sure you are selecting the correct drive. If you delete your stuff, that is on you. So again, make sure you have the right one selected. And once the drive is selected, just click on Start. It'll ask you if you really want to format the drive. Click on Yes. And then when it's asking to create the games, BIOS, and folders on your new drive, click on Yes. That didn't do jack squat now, did it? Now, if for any reason the program doesn't work, that's okay. You can still manually go through and do things. It's just a little more complicated. Not too complicated, thankfully. But anyway, you can just right-click on your drive, click on Format, make sure NTFS is selected, and then leave the volume label whatever you want, quick Format on, and then just click on Start. Hey, this will format. Yes, cool. Format complete. And now if you want to, you can try the program again. And there we go. This time it actually went through and did everything properly. I think it was erroring because I already had it set up, so it just didn't know what to do about it. But there we go. That is now ready to go, and I can verify this by going into its properties, security. All application packages is checked. Perfect. So yeah, that drive is now ready to go. But let's do this again here real quick. So format, quick format, there we go. So say you already had a drive that's ready to go, it has all your files and stuff on it. In that case, you can actually use the second setting in the program here to only add permission files to the drive. Files will not be deleted. So then you can select your USB drive and tell it to add permissions to the selected drive. And then again, you can verify that it's actually gone into effect by clicking on Properties, Security, and making sure all application packages is selected. So there we go. It just did not like the fact that I was already using a prepared drive. So if you have errors with your drive formatting, just go in and manually format it yourself, then you can try the program again and it should do great. But now if for whatever reason it will just not work for you, again, you could come into the properties, go into the security tab, click on Advanced, go to Add, select a principal, click on Advanced again, click on Find Now, and find the All Application Packages entry here and click OK. And then click OK again. And make sure you have full control selected. And then click on OK. And then replace all child object permission entries with inheritable permissions entries from this object. Select that. And then click on Apply. And then when it asks if you want to continue, just click on Yes. And then you'll get an error about the system volume information file if you have a blank drive, which is fine. Just click on Continue. And there we go. It's now set up there again. No matter which step you take, just make sure all application packages is here in your designated languages, and then that full control is checkmarked. But now that my drive's good to go, I'm just going to re-add all of my previous folders and files onto here. So I'm just going to open up, actually. There we go. So opening up my Xbox Media USB drive in one page here. And then over on my network locations within this PC, it has my emulation drive that I have stored everything in. So if I open that up, I can see my backups of the folders here. So this is perfect. So I have my games in their own folders already. So I'm just going to delete all this stuff real quick. There we go. But anyway. Just going to add everything back onto this drive and it will be ready to go on my Xbox. And there we go. I now have all of my stuff back on my USB drive. Again, if you want to have more specific setup instructions on how to get things onto your USB drive, check out the individual playlist entries for specific cores and emulators for Xbox. Playlist will be in the description below. With that, I am now done with parallels, so I can eject the USB drive just by clicking on the USB icon up here and unchecking it. That way it's removed. And then we could just close out of parallels. Alright, so now if you're interested, there are ways to natively mount your USB drive on Mac and have it be able to write to the drive instead of just reading from it. So there's a couple of things I found. There's there's NTFS for Mac by iBoysoft. It does require a paid license to run. And then same thing, there is the Paragon NTFS for Mac. This is also another one that requires a license to run it. But these options are available. Otherwise, you keep using Parallels or another VM. That way you can just access the drive natively. I'll go ahead and put links in the descriptions to these, but I'm not going to be covering them in more depth. Now over on your Xbox, get that USB drive that you've just created plugged into the USB port. And if you get a pop-up asking if you wanted to set up the drive as media or game storage, be sure to choose media. Otherwise, everything you just did will be deleted. So again, choose media. But from here, you're able to just enjoy your emulation setup. If you haven't gotten things set up, be sure to check out my Xbox emulation tutorial setup playlist with more in-depth steps on how to get everything set up. But for just a quick rundown for things like RetroArch, you're going to want to go to your settings directory and change all of your directories over to your new USB drive entries. And once you have all the directories set, you can go in and save your configuration file. And then update and do things as needed. So for example, I need to re-download my assets because I deleted them from that folder because I didn't want to back up all those tiny little files. But there we go. But as you can see, I have my playlists and everything that is currently set up here to go, ready to go. And then same thing with Dolphin, I already had that configured to run off of USB, so the file that I backed up into it is ready to go, being seen, just absolutely perfect. But with that, we're going to go ahead and call it here for this video. Thank you so much as always to everyone who tuned in and checked it out. I hope it helps you get your Xbox emulation projects up and running to your desires, and now with Mac. But here at the end, I do have a couple of huge favors to ask. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like, dislike button, depending on how much you like this tutorial, as well as that sub button and notification bell so you can see when new content goes live on the channel. Loads always coming your way, and I'd love to have each and every one of you along for the ride. For anyone interested in further helping support the channel and bring this content directly to you, be sure to check out that join button here on YouTube or the Patreon link in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Little goes a long way to bringing this all your way, and we're super grateful to every single person who has backed this channel past and present. But that's going to do it for this one, so until next time, my wonderful internet peeps, you all stay awesome, keep on gaming, and we'll see you back next video.